RubyCrisp Muscadine. So let's get some updates on the fruit. Last video, I believe they were still pre-bloom. So let's take a look what the mature 3-year-old RubyCrisp fruit load. So let's go around first and take a look at the vines. So there's 2 right here, and I believe these are 3 years old, 3-year in-ground, that is. I let them fruit on their first year a little bit. They were loaded last year, and it looks like they're at it again. And I even forgot to prune this one, and it's just putting some weight on my solar lights right here. So the other 2 I added last year. There's one right there, so I'm just kind of this Geneva trellis system, and there's another one. So I have a total of 4 vines that I let develop 2 trunks. It's the same for those. So I have 4 RubyCrisp right here. So just to kind of show you, I have Summit here in the back. So I'm gonna stop the Summit. I have 2 vines, well, kind of all mixed up kind of in there. So I'm gonna let the Summit eventually stop right here. That's the post, and then let this 2 kind of, so they get about 8 or 10 feet, kind of like a weird setup. But anyway, let's take a look at the fruit load. So I'm letting the second year in ground RubyCrisps to kind of have a little fruit right here, so we can sample these. And the same thing here as well. So just a little bit. And the 3-year-old, I'm letting them do their thing. So as you can see, they're quite loaded. And RubyCrisp is our early Muscadine here in the orchard or vineyard. And this is the front one. I don't have any RubyCrisp at the back vineyard, which is the big vineyard. We have like 60 plus vines there. All right, so, and I need to start pruning all this low-hanging vines right here. They get caught up in the mower and you ruin the fruit. So like I said, I didn't pay attention to this one, and it started going through the solar string lights right here, and there's fruits in here as well. So I'm gonna have to prune that over there so it stops growing, and we'll get some a way to go past this thing. So, all right, so one fully loaded. So let's take a look at the bottom. All right, so there's still some very small ones kind of developing. There's some in there. So it looks like the same load as last year or more. And there's still some pre-blooms, so there we go. So we'll get a little bit of a spread season with the RubyCrisp. Yeah, there's some pre-blooms in there as well. And fruit size varies. I think the biggest one are this guys over here, the ones that were hanging right here. I think these are the biggest ones. All right, let's take a look at the other one, or this side as well. So we got a lot of fruit from this last year and gave away to our friend Clay also. Like I mentioned, these are our early Muscadines. They turn to a ruby color, and when they get ripe, they get darker. They lose some of that ruby color a little bit when they're ripe, but while they're ripening, they do have that really pretty color. Taste wise, I would say they are 100% muscadine, but they have less of that muscadine, wild muscadine flavor, meaning they're not they're light on the flavor. The skin is definitely crunchy, crisp, hence the RubyCrisp. They're not table grape thin skin, but definitely edible. Oh, I just noticed there are bigger ones right here. Alright, so a little bit more developed right here. And it's good that there's a lot of foliage. But this is just on the other side. There's a lot of fruit in the center. So that this is Texas, so that we don't get a lot of the sunburn on the fruits here. All this foliage will help. The problem with this foliage, however, will be airflow. But muscadines, they handle diseases and whatnot pretty easily. So that's why I don't have any more. Well, I do have one more table grape over there, Blanc de Bois, but I never get any because I don't spray or I don't protect them. They get black rot. All right, so let's take a look here. Yeah, it's another loaded year for RubyCrisp. And I haven't fertilized this, so might be the area right here is pretty good. So I was thinking if I get poor production from them and bigger, I'm gonna start fertilizing them. All right, let's take a look here. All right, so we got plenty. They don't get really big, kind of probably as big as Carlos, but flavor-wise, they're not very strong in muscadine flavor, but we like them. I think this is our favorite. We would eat this more than our next favorite one would be Black Beauty. We eat a lot of those, don't get me wrong. And Sugar Gate. There's some from, I don't know if this is from the new vine or an extension of this. So it'll be interesting pruning come winter. As you can see, there's a lot of laterals on this one, so it'll definitely be thinned out when it comes to pruning. There's more kind of getting settled, just start pre-blooms right there. So that's our kind of before summer, heat up summer update. And when we starting to get color from RubyCrisp, I'll do another video and let's see how the size of the fruits progressing. And eventually during harvest season, we'll do a taste test on the third year. Usually the longer you have your muscadine or any fruit, the flavor just gets better. And I'm gonna walk around here too later. There's a lot of trunk maintenance I need to do. Like this one, just kind of growing on the trunk, which serves no purpose other than take more energy from the main one. So it's a mixed bag. There's some good size, there's pre-blooms, they're mid, so which is good. You don't want any of your muscadine kind of ripening at the same time. It can be overwhelming, especially in our case right here. This is a hobby vineyard. We get too much, and I'm gonna start freezing them for winemaking.